Liebe Zuschauer, herzlich willkommen zum Market Insight von der Investmesse in Stuttgart. Heute zugeschaltet ist NYSEinstein Peter Tuchman von der Wall Street. Hallo nach New York.
Peter Tuchman from the Florida New York Stock Exchange, NYSEinstein.
Wo geht die Reise für den Dow Jones momentan hin?
What's going on? We've seen over the last couple of weeks, I'm not going to go over what's going on, been going on since January. You guys probably figured that out. So I'm going to give you the short, succinct version of what's happening. We're seeing the market barraged by negative headlines, okay? That's been the sell sign. The breakdown of the Facebooks, Zuckerberg in Congress, the attack on Amazon by the White House, and that rollover of all the FANG stocks and the breakdown of the tech trade, which was the catalyst that took the market up, that made the market start to break down. But it's basically headline driven, okay? Then we saw this Dow start to break. We've seen days where we were down 700, down 400, rally back up 1200. We've seen this weird contraindication on a daily basis where the market is up on the fundamentals and the path of least resistance seems to be up. If there's no bad news, that's good news, and that's where I'm going with this. I cannot predict where the Dow's going. Net, I believe the path of least resistance is up. We've got banking earnings coming out. I believe that's projected to be solid. So the fundamentals are good, okay? And that's it. The only thing that's been turning this market negative, and there have been some significant moves, although we're at 24.4 now. We've had days where it felt like this market is broken, it's the end of the world, and the headlines are negative, and la la la. At the end of the day, we're only 2,000 points off the high after being up 7,000 points. Where's the Dow going? My belief is that the path of least resistance up, and I believe it will continue to rise. All that being said, one tweet at 6 in the morning can turn this market around. One attack or a war with Syria can turn this market around. Anything can happen. As long as the fundamentals are solid, at the end of the day, once the emotional selling is over, the smart money will be buying it and we'll be back up where we need to be.
Der Syrien-Konflikt ja momentan in aller Munde. Was bedeutet das für die Märkte?
Has the world reacted as it should have for the chemical attack in Syria? It doesn't seem like it's got the focus on that because what's going on there is horrific. What seems to be the blocker and the obstacle to people really reacting? People, not markets yet, reacting to this is what's going on between the US and Russia. Russia's backing Syria and Assad. The US is obviously against chemical weapons. This is a human disaster. How are the markets reacting to that? Well, the markets have been barraged by headlines. No, the Syrian headline is a very recent one. The market's been barraged by headlines about Facebook, Zuckerberg, tech, Amazon, wild card coming out of the White House, tariffs, China, US, fights like that, Mexico building a wall, all that. Those have been the negative things in the market. The fundamentals of the market really haven't changed. So for every day we're down 1,000, we're back up 1,000 the next day. For every day we're down 500, we're back up 500 the next day. For every day we're down on the opening 300, we end up closing up 400. The intraday volatility has been huge. Has the market engaged what could potentially happen out of the Syrian attack or the chemical attack in Syria or on a war between the US and Syria? I don't think we've seen the light of that yet because the Russian involvement could be a wild card. If that all becomes a complete catastrophe and everyone is involved, we're talking World War, that will definitely affect the markets. So for now, there are a lot of unknowns on that.
Und was erwarten Sie von der US-Notenbank Fed für weitere Zinsschritte?
The Fed has come out. We have a new Fed chairman. The Fed has been very transparent. We're talking about three raises in 18, 3 raises in 19. When that news came out last week, when the Fed chairman introduced himself and talked about it, there was some negative pullback on that, okay? I don't know why. It seemed like that was news that everybody kind of knew. The reality of it is maybe that, people were reallocating funds. We have seen since that February sell-off, the market's rotating out of things. But there are some contraindicators. The AAII, which shows that the world is basically bearish right now. When that is always the case, this market usually rallies, okay? Are we seeing money coming out of mutual funds and ETFs? Yes. Is that a retail play? For sure. Interest rates and the movement of the Fed, peace and love. Interest rates and the movement of the Fed, I think, are pretty locked in stone for now unless something economically fundamental changes. We've got earnings coming out. People are projecting the bank earnings are going to be solid. We've had nothing to say that anything from the economic fundamentals is going to change here. We are basically being barraged by headlines and tweets and a wild card out of Washington and fights and just, you know, whatever is going on between us and China, whether it's a fight or a battle or a negotiation, we haven't figured all that out. Once again, in answer to a lot of your questions, there's still a lot of unknown. Is the Dow going up or down? Unknown. But I gave you some direction. How concerned are we about Syria? Still some unknowns. What do we expect out of the Fed? I think what we expect out of the Fed is what they've told us. One we just had in March, 2 more in 18, 3 in 19, unless the fundamentals change. Short of that, it's been great speaking to you. I hope you love. Einstein, as you always did, GKFX. Kicking butt, taking names later. Giddy up, I love you.
Peter Tuchman von der Wall Street, danke Ihnen und danke Ihnen, liebe Zuschauer, fürs Interesse bei Market Insight. Schauen Sie auch für weitere Informationen gerne auf gkfx.de.